Hello, I'm right here. Hang on, my fucking webcam's being a bitch. Hi guys, welcome back. What I'm doing is I'm setting up another little chatting with friends and family, real quick because of the simple fact that my dad wanted to get in on the call, but he missed it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a second parter to the first video, and this will say part 2 on the end of it, so be on the lookout. What's going to happen is we are going to be talking about the whole, American thing and what's going on with the country, just him and I. Maybe my mum, if she wants to get in on this, but I don't know, because I'm not going to text her about it. Nope, not happening. She'll see the video and go, hey, why didn't you text me? I'm gonna go, because I didn't feel like it. Or, yes, daddy-daughter time. Damn it, you have to get on everything, mum. Sorry, this is daddy-daughter time. Talking about fucking politics of the nation. Yay. We can't just sit down and have a cup of coffee and talk about dolls. Or boys. Nope, we've got to have this kind of daddy-daughter. So, what is going to end up happening is, it's like the first video, it's going to be just voice. So, I'm going to go ahead for, security purposes, so you guys don't go after him for shit like this. So, I'm going to go ahead and turn up the volume and get him in here by unmuting my Skype. Hello, Dad, welcome!
Thank you.
Yes, this is my dad, Vasily Tsar. This is my dad, my father figure, best one I've had yet, besides Dr. Stalker, which you all probably have known if you guys watched my previous YouTube channel. But yes, this is my dad.
Yep.
Welcome, Dad, thank you for being here, and let's get to talking! I do it, okay? I just talk in a fucking British accent because I talked to my friend Stacey. Can you leave me alone about it? And shut the bloody hell up. Anyway, welcome, Dad. What are you? My dad here saw the first video. He hasn't seen all of it yet, which he should have watched it before calling me. Anyways, he saw the first video and he wanted to get on this, so thusly we are here.
Alright, so big problem I see with America in and of itself is that the races are starting to divide instead of coming closer, they're dividing. So that's where you get Black Lives Matter from. That's where you get the Klan was already established, but it's starting to grow more. I'm not going to tell you how I know this shit. There are certain organizations popping up all over. Mexican organizations, Chinese, Japanese, Pacific Islanders, stuff like that. The races are just starting to tear themselves apart. And the fabric of America is starting to come apart with it. And the one big thing that I see that caused all of this was the expansion of welfare, just handing out shit to people that can work, but refuse to because they're already in the system. Now, what I'm going to say is going to be a little bit radical. What I mean is I'm not saying take welfare away from those that need it. What I'm saying is take welfare away from those that don't need it. By that, I mean those that can work, support themselves, have a strong back, have a square head on their shoulders. But I'll go into a little background on myself on this one. Right now, I'm going to school for machining and welding at Moore Tech. I'm not going to tell you which one, but I'm just going to more tech. Now, before that, I spent 18 years in the U.S. military. I'm not going to tell you what I did, because it's sort of one of those situations. But anyway, what I have seen is a massive deduction in veteran benefits, Social Security, and Medicare, which are all needed. These people worked for and earned this stuff. But then you look at welfare, Medicare, or Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, and VA benefits are only 28%, whereas welfare is over 70% of the budget that comes in for this stuff. You can fact check me on that. I don't know exactly the actual numbers, but I'm running rough estimates here. So, say you have, okay, let me make it much simpler. Say you have a pie, and 28% of it goes to the person who made it. Well, that's not actually fair. I'm trying to... Okay, say there's like a new pair of shoes, alright? Most of you people can understand this one. Say you buy a new pair of Jordans or something, and you pay for them, but your buddy uses them more than you, yet you paid for them. Does that seem like it's fair? I would say the same thing you are right now. No, that's not fair. So, when you look at it on its face, welfare pretty much brought about the racial divide. The expansion of it caused white people, well, not just white people, but any working person, to working middle class and lower end middle class working, to look at it this way. I'm working my life away, and all of the money that I'm getting taxed on is going to stuff that I don't want it to go to. And to be honest, I still hold on to some Christian values, but I'm mostly pagan. The one thing I still hold on to is that abortion should not be done. That's a personal thing of mine. It's, in my eyes, murder. The other thing is, do not dishonor anybody else in their religion. And 3, the one thing I do believe is that Islam, radical Islam, is brought about from an evil force. Basically, for those of you that are Christian, the devil. For the rest of you, just fucking spirits.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you real quick, Des. Basically, what he's saying with the whole don't disrespect other people's beliefs, that's basically saying don't try to push your beliefs on other people, and they will not try to push theirs on you. And it basically kind of means don't try to say someone else's religion is wrong just because you believe in yours.
Exactly, thank you.
You're welcome. I just wanted to put it into better perspective. So, for the shit who didn't know it, sorry, I'm eating in front of the cam, so I'm sorry for those of you who are hungry and eating and not eating who don't have any food. I'm sorry, but I'm starving. I am pretty much freaking twins, and they never fucking stop being hungry. So, I have myself muted every time I go to eat, so that's why I kind of cut in and out through the video. So, I'm gonna let them go back to listening to you, Dad.
Okay. Now, what I'm saying is those beliefs that I have, like abortion and mosques and funding government buildings that are mosques, or funding religious buildings with government money, that is a totally different religion than what I believe in. So, what you have there is a divide of church and state. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I'll tie it all in together at some point. She knows how I am. She's heard many drunk ramblings from me. But anyway.
Well, the point is, he's not drunk. He's sleep deprived.
Yeah, I am very sleep deprived right now, and a little tipsy. But anyway,
but you're not drunk, Dad.
not yet. The big thing that I have a problem with is Black Lives Matter and Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton stirring up the masses. When you have all that happening, you have what we have today, which is a minor form of anarchy. There is law and order in some places, there is no law and order in other places, and the people just run rampant rioting. Now, for anyone who's smart, and I'm guessing the majority of you, you will understand what I mean when I say this. When you start saying,
Be nice!
I'm being nice.
For those of you who are smart, I'm guessing the majority of you, that's just saying that there are some people out there who are stupid.
There's always that one ignorant asshole that decides to just put the stupidest thing in the comments. You have to admit that.
Yeah. That's true, but...
That's why I say the majority of people, because, you know, that one person only listens to the part where I get to Black Lives Matter, and then I start saying they're all racists. And then he's going to be like, oh, you're a fucking racist because you're white. And he won't even listen to my whole argument. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify that because it sounds like you were being mean.
I wasn't being mean. I was stating a fact. There's always that one idiot out in the World Wide Web that likes to troll the shit out of political arguments. But anyway.
Fuck's sake! I just got a call from the group. Alright, do you want me to add into the group, Dad?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Alright, I'll add you into the group real quick. Hang on.
Stop it and go night-night now.
Lacey,
Hang on. What? Hold up!
don't help me.
Okay, first of all, let me just say this much. I'm sorry, YouTubers, because my shit is running so fucking rampant right now. Anyways, right, who established the call?
I did.
You dickhead. You couldn't have freaking just, like, messaged me before?
I have got something to tell you.
Well, I am doing a video because me and Dad were talking about everything that was happening and he wants to be added into the call because this is the second part of the first video that I uploaded.
Okay, Nero.
Wait, you and your dad?
What?
Wait, your dad's home?
Yes! I just said that!
And he couldn't fucking call me or whatever?
Mama! He sat down and watched my video! Do not jump at the gun, woman! I don't care if you're pregnant or not! Be nice!
What did I walk into?
I am sorry, YouTubers, that you had to hear all that, but welcome, Dad. Hello, Uncle Maury. Mum just left the call. Fine, fuck her then. Damn! What the fuck?
Sissy, do not leave this call again.
God damn.
Lacey, now. I got something to tell you.
What?
Me and Calissa are renewing our vows.
Okay.
And I asked your mother to do it.
Okay.
She says
She in the wedding room?
I'm waiting to see what she says.
I told you all I got to do was just change my outfit.
That's what I know.
Okay, right now I'm going to say this much. This is my goddamn YouTube video, and I'm going to say, calm the fucking hell down. All of you take a goddamn chill pill and shush!
Where was I?
Sorry, everybody. This is how we usually go.
I have no fucking idea, Dad.
Oh yeah, I was talking about that one little troll bitch.
The one fucker who wishes to troll the internet, just searching for shit to bitch about. What the hell? I was just kicked out of the fucking call. I was just kicked out of the call. Alright.
Welcome.
I was just kicked out of the call. You saw it?
Let's just stay in here.
I was kicked out of the call, Dad! What the hell?
I don't know. Anyway, this will give me a chance to go on my giant monologue.
Go ahead.
Alright, so...
Real quick, I'm going to apologize to my YouTubers for watching all of this, if you've even stuck around for all of this. What the bloody hell?
What?
Click everything.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reject the group. That'll be fucking easier. Let me get my shit taken care of.
Daddy, daughter, mine.
Here's the thing. There's always one little troll that likes to sit there and say, "Oh, well, I'm a butthurt little bitch." What the fuck is going on?
Alright, what I said is daddy daughter time, do not disturb.
Yeah.
What bitches. I am going to leave the group.
I'm just gonna set mine on Do Not Disturb.
Well, I'd leave the group too, why the fuck not? They want to be assholes like that. Fine. Let them do them.
Well, Maury ended the call by accident. He needed to have somebody else pick it up, apparently. He just sent me a message saying that his internet's being weird. And...
No, like, even then, I was ejected from the call before his internet started acting wonky. So, no. I'm done
both
with the group. Like, everybody's gonna be assholes today.
I'm not. I'm just sleep deprived.
Yes, I know you're sleep deprived, Dad. I wasn't exactly talking about you when I said everyone.
But anyway, back to the whole little troll business thing. That guy is usually around 32 in his mother's basement, eating Lunchables still, with nothing better to do than, you know, fucking make my life hell.
With an itty-bitty Superman lunchbox.
Yes, exactly. And a bunch of little action figures sitting around on his desk, and he's naked in his chair.
Dad, are you trying to make a reference to Live Free Die Hard?
Yes.
Because I saw that and I'm like, little action figures. What? Is he trying to make a fucking reference to one of my favorite movies?
Yep. But anyway. Now, here's the big thing.
Pardon me?
Generally, those people don't understand the inner workings of an actual argument. They may, and I mean very loosely may, have paid attention in high school or middle school, depending on where they're from. If they're from Arkansas, they're probably boning their second cousin, married to them already, and with a middle school grade, or a middle school 7th grade vocabulary. I'm sorry. I'm not saying all of you are like that in Arkansas. I'm saying those of you that like to put troll shit on the internet are like that. Now, some of you may be very well versed in liberal arts. I don't give two shits about liberal arts. The reason being, number one, it's a stupid degree to get in the first place, because you're literally sitting there with a degree you can't even use. The other thing that I have a problem with that has that leads me into another subject, the whole, pushing college on people. If it weren't for guys like me willing to go to a trade school, willing to, study and become a craftsman, this world would stop spinning. Like, it would just stop dead. Everything would grind to a halt. You wouldn't have plumbers, you wouldn't have electricians, you wouldn't have machinists to build the parts for the plumbers and electricians. You wouldn't have, airplanes to fly, you wouldn't have mechanics, you wouldn't have anything. You'd literally be sitting there in a world like Fallout, basically. just mass rioting in the streets because, you know, nobody wants to get a trade. Now, I'm not saying the industry's dying. What I'm saying is that right now the industry is dead. Or very much so dead. I only have in a class that can hold 20 people, 5 guys taking machining. 5. My welding class, it's a lot bigger because people automatically assume, oh, welders get a shitload of money. No, that's not true, and I can tell you that from personal experience. I'm a journeyman welder and machinist. I'm a journeyman fabricator, basically. When you take welding and machining and you study them both at the same time and you accelerate through them at the same time, that's a fabricator. And fabricators are the ones that get the big money. What that means is we can build our own parts, put them together, make sure they work and pressure test them, and we do it all ourselves. There is no middleman. There is no, I build the parts, I tack weld them together, I hand them off to the welder, then I hand them off to a pressure tester. There is no extra 2 steps. It's all one flow. That's where you get into the sums of a lot of money, to the tune of anywhere between $100,000 and $500,000 by the time you retire. The $100,000 starting out, basically. Now, when all these people take all these degrees and they all end up working at McDonald's and they're all screaming for a minimum wage increase, what they don't realize is there's not enough people in the workforce to even justify that. There is too many people on welfare sucking in money from the taxpayer who ends up paying more money at the $15 an hour instead of at like $7.50. And 3, just look at Seattle if you want a really bad idea of what's going to happen. Seriously, just look at Seattle. Look at their crime rate, their unemployment rate, and their business closing rate, like small businesses. You will find that when they increased minimum wage there, you had a very sharp increase in crime, business closures, and unemployment. Well, what you first had was unemployment, then crime started meeting up with it, and then after that, business closures. What was your question?
What I was going to ask is that, I want to know what your standpoint on 9/11 is. Like, was it just kind of a useless thing for them to do? Was it wrong for them to do? Like, what is your standpoint on it?
Okay, well, my question is, are you asking in the useless standpoint, was it useless for us to go over there after it, or was it useless in general?
Well, what I'm saying was,
or was it a PR stunt?
Well, because what I asked in the first video is what their emotional standpoint on it was, because I lost a best friend. I was 6 at the time that the Twin Tower fell.
I remember.
And what had happened was one of my best friends, it's kind of hard to talk about it, but...
You don't need to, I already know the story.
Yeah, so I lost one of my best friends in it, and I was completely torn apart. I thought it was useless for them to, what was the point in them coming over and doing that? Was it to wound us or piss us off to the point where we snapped back?
What... Do you want my emotional opinion first and then my logical?
Yes, please.
Okay. My emotional standpoint is I knew about 14 firefighters from Engine 35 that went into the buildings and never came out. I knew National Guardsmen that went into the rubble and started digging bodies out. I was there at Ground Zero, digging bodies out. I drove all the way from Cleveland to the outskirts of Manhattan to help with cleanup. You know this. The ash did. Shards of glass, ash, paper.
What my husband just asked is that the debris went all the way out to the outskirts of Manhattan, and that's why my father answered, was because he can hear us on Skype, but I had ended up muting the video by accident on my end, so you guys couldn't hear his response. His question. So I'm sorry about that.
The big thing was they just needed people there to comfort those that lost loved ones.
And you were the one who actually ended up comforting me.
Yes.
Even though we were all the way here in Ohio, staying at my Aunt Dawn's house, he just ended up comforting me. He came over after it was all said and done, and he's just like, I know what happened, and I'm sorry for your loss. And he handed me a little vial of the ashes, and said, this is so that you can remember her by, no matter what. And I still have that vial of ashes around here somewhere. And this is from the ash cloud that it actually ended up engulfing
Manhattan.
It was like a little bit of ashes and debris and just stuff like that, all stuffed into a little vial. But I had wore around my neck for 7 years.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting packed away in a box so that I could always keep it, and I could always take it out on her birthday, and her birthday is actually coming up very soon.
I'm not gonna tell you guys what I did, but I'm just gonna say after 9/11, from a military standpoint, everything was in chaos. We were trying to gather intelligence on where it came from. We were, we were waiting for an organization to claim credit for it. And when that organization was going to claim credit for it, we were going to go in there and wipe them out. If any of you have ever watched the speech on September 13th, State of the Union, Emergency State of the Union address from George W. Bush.
Cut in and out for that for a minute.
Okay, if any of you have watched the State of the Union address, the Emergency State of the Union address from President Bush Jr., or Bush W. Bush, sorry. You'll understand what I'm saying. It was just mass chaos of just trying to mobilize troops, get people back in from the reserves, activate units, trying to figure out where it all came from. A friend of mine who I stayed 36 hours with this weekend because of all this, he put it one way. He put it away. He's only 23. I'm 32. He said that guys like him, young ones, anywhere 23 is the max that this can apply to, and below to 18. They were kids when it happened. But now they're men and they're able to do something with a gun. And, I don't watch NFL that much, but with the Colin Kaepernick thing and the Seattle Seahawks going on, which I did watch that on TV, just to see if they'd have the balls to do it, that pisses me off. It really does. Because I knew 14 brave men and women that ran into those buildings to try and save more lives. And when you sit during the national anthem, you dishonor the memory. You also dishonor the memory of men that fought and died for our flag. Now, when all is said and done, it is your First Amendment right to protest the flag. But you also need to consider what all is in that flag. Before calling it a racist symbol, maybe you should check your facts. Because number one, over a lot of people of color have fought and died for this flag.
Hundreds of thousands of men and women have fought and died for the flag. For your right to freedom of speech, for your right to your Second Amendment to bear arms, for the right to even be able to live.
Exactly.
And you're going to dishonor them by sitting through the national anthem and not standing up and putting your hand over your heart.
What, that one pop? I guess that's about that football player?
No, we're talking about the whole Seattle Seahawks team. Now, flip side of that, I'm playing devil's advocate sort of right now. I'm trying to communicate as clearly as possible. This is coming from the perspective of a man who has seen hell. Colin Kaepernick is a multi-million-dollar player. But I have one thing to say. I knew Pat Tillman. I knew his brother, actually. The 49ers quarterback who volunteered for U.S. Army Airborne and lost his life in 04.
Dad, you're breaking in and out a little bit, but I think they got the gist of what you said just a second. Just to let you know.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. The one really big thing that I have a problem with people standing during the national anthem, or not standing during the national anthem, is they yes. I'll take care of it tomorrow. I'm too tired right now. Get my room Saturday, I'll take care of that tomorrow. I don't do chores on Monday, so it's perfect for that. No, I won't. I'll get it done. No, I won't. Anyway.
You know what? Next Tuesday we'll give you money for the week.
For those of you who are wondering, he's talking to family in the background real quick. We're over
Yeah.
Skype video.
Hang on 1 second. I'll be right back. I need some water.
Honey, how many?
He'll be back in a moment.
How many more?
Alright, I'm back. Now, when Okay. Alright. Here's the thing. When you don't stand for the national anthem, you're pretty much spitting on. I don't know.
I'm sorry, you guys. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties.
How's your music?
Hang on, it's fine. I already checked all that. It's his end. All right, and the reason I have myself muted is because that way you guys don't hear my husband moving things around because we're rearranging the living room a little bit. So I have my desk back out here because originally I had a desk over in the corner over there that I could do my YouTube videos on, but we had to take that desk out so that we had enough room for the furniture. But we're going to move some furniture into the bedroom in order to have more room out here. So that's the situation with that.
Yeah. Alright. When you don't stand for the national anthem as a person or as a group of people, what you're basically doing is spitting in the face of every man who gave his life for that flag. Now here's the thing. What makes this country so great is that, number one, we are broken. We may be broken, we may have internal strife, we may have our problems, we may have things that need to be addressed. But all of that makes my country the greatest thing that ever is. That is pretty much what a bunch of people have said in response to Colin Kaepernick. That's pretty much summing it up. Now, the USA is to put it mild, it's a bunch of lines that shouldn't be there. Racial lines. Now, okay. She had muted her Skype. Okay. Now you just get to hear me talk. What the U.S. is a bunch of racial lines that have been drawn that shouldn't have been drawn. Instead of calling yourself an American, you have Asian American, you have Mexican American, you have Puerto Rican American, you have a bunch of these names, countries before the American, instead of just American. Personally, I mean, I don't agree with everything the guy says, but Donald Trump is the best choice. He really is. He's better than Hillary in one respect, and that is he has an actual respect for our troops, whereas Hillary does not. We have to make, I don't remember where I was going with this now. I'm starting to fall asleep. What's going on is that you have... Okay. Basically, you have a double-edged sword in this election. One, we could lop our own head off, or two, we could cut the head off the snake and be done with it. As well as we would be choosing between communism and fascism Hillary would obviously be communism because all she wants to do is take from the rich and give to the poor without having them work. Fascism would be Donald Trump, pretty much. He'd be a minor form of fascism, but fascism nonetheless. And I'll admit that. And no, fascists do not mean they wear swastikas. What a fascist in and of itself is someone, well, the Nazis were fascist, yes. But they were also genocidal maniacs who believed in an Aryan race. Fascism has nothing to do with the Aryan race and genocide thing. Fascism in and of itself is power. I think that's never going to happen, but it's happening. You have Obama forcing bills through Congress that he shouldn't. You have these judges doing things they shouldn't. And personally, we're sitting on a nice edge with this new election. It's basically a shit show. And it's all because the DNC decided to force Bernie out, and the Republicans did not want to support Ted Cruz. Now, I'm not saying Ted Cruz is the best option. It's certainly a lot better than Kasich, Rubio, and who was the other guy running? Bush, Jeb Bush. I have one thing to say. America is not a dynasty. Plain and simple. Number one, if Bill Clinton was president, his wife should never be president.
By the way.
Because, for two reasons. First off being, that'd just be frickin' weird. Having a former president become the first man, and having the first lady become president. Does that make sense? I hope it does.
Makes a lot of sense. That I'm just like, what? That'd be one giant clusterfuck.
It really would be. So what do you call Bill Clinton if Hillary gets into office? Do we call him the first man of the White House? Or do we call him Mr. President? You see, that's where it gets confusing. Because retired presidents are still called Mr. President. Now...
Mr. President, Mrs. President.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one big mind. Ow. You don't want to deal with it.
No.
Like, in a role play earlier, we were talking about, like, if his cousin married my brother, and it's just figuring out, so does that make her my cousin, yet she's my sister, and that would make him his brother, yet his cousin, because, yeah, it's just one big cluster mindfuck that you don't want to think about. It's just like, no, thank you!
It's a paradox, basically. And it's something that we don't need to deal with as a country. Now, I will admit Hillary Clinton does have some good ideas. But the big thing I have a problem with is the fact that she has a problem admitting when she's lied. Like, the whole Benghazi thing. The whole Benghazi thing back 4 years ago on this day on this very date. Fucking 2 Navy SEALs lost their lives. 4 men in total, including Ambassador Stevens. And she turns around 6 months later and says, what difference at this point does it make? point blank to their families who want answers, who want closure. And all of them have the same question. Why were they denied air support? Why were they denied a Tomahawk cruise missile? Why were they denied this? Why were they denied that? You see, military response is not one single line. It is multifaceted. It is more multifaceted than a diamond at this point. You see, they had a Delta Force team in Kosovo able to get there within 12 hours after it started. They had an aircraft carrier off the coast of Libya. They had atomic fighters with atomic capability able to move if that needed to be done. They had a sub with not Tomahawk cruise missiles, ICBMs sitting out in the ocean. You always know it.
Dad,
You know,
repeat that
they're the
again.
capabilities.
ICBMs.
Repeat it. You were cutting in and out.
Okay. What I basically said beforehand, military is multifaceted in its response.
Well, what I was talking about,
With-
like after the cruise ship off the coast of Libya, you were talking about something in it, cut in and out.
Oh, yes. The submarine. They had a nuclear-capable submarine. Now, I don't know exactly where it was, but we have a fleet of a lot of nuclear-capable submarines. Nimitz class, to be exact. Actually, no, they would be Los Angeles class submarines. If any of you have seen Hunt for Red October, that's pretty much the submarine I'm talking about, the U.S. submarine that is hunting the Red October. That is a Los Angeles class submarine. Now, I don't know everything there is to know about the military, but from what I have read and understand, we have a very, very, very large fleet capable of doing anything that we need to. And why these 4 men died is still a mystery. We know why. They were denied the support they needed. But the question is, why were they denied that support? And here's the kicker. Hillary Clinton, when she ran the State Department, knew this was coming. She did. She knew it. I mean, it's revealed in all the emails that WikiLeaks has released. And they knew it. Also, some crazy Russian hacker was able to get into the old server and get all her emails out of there. You see, when you send an email, it leaves an electronic print, an electronic fingerprint. And if you can find the original master file in someone's computer, you can release that shit. And that's what they've done. The mystery is, if Hillary Clinton knew this stuff was coming 6 months beforehand, why she did nothing about it, and why she denied multiple requests every month for extra support. So, and then she has the gall to sit in front of the Benghazi. Ambassador Stevens, Tyrone Woods, Sean, and Mark sit in front of their families and say, at this point, what difference does it make? Do you really believe that she would be a good commander-in-chief of our military? Think about that for a second before saying anything, because I'm about to drop a bombshell. You see, all material that is linked confidential is marked with a C at the beginning of the paragraph. A capital C in parentheses. This is what I know from the news. I have never seen actual confidential information on a sheet of paper. But this is what the news is reporting, and it starts with, is a C with parentheses. Now, if Hillary Clinton can't remember that, why should we trust her with America's atomic power, nuclear warheads, locations of said nuclear warheads? Like, why should we trust her with that? And the simple reason is we shouldn't. Because if you cannot handle your own emails, and you have to keep switching devices and all this other crap, you got a problem. You have a major problem. If you have a server in your basement of your house that has confidential information on it, and yet it's just there and it's not secured, like, what are we going to do with troop movement and other things when she's in office? You know, the main thing a Hillary support doesn't look at is her track record. They just look at what she has done in the last 2 years for humanity through the Clinton Foundation, not what she did back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. They don't look at all that. She was a trial lawyer in Arkansas at the time. She was a prosecutor, a defense attorney. She got a child rapist off. And she went into an interview and said, oh yeah, I knew he was guilty, but it was my job to get him off. And she did so. Bill Clinton was a trial attorney before he became president. Do you see this trend here with them? There's only two types of good lawyers. Ones that don't open their mouth, and ones that drink a lot of beer. Because those two, let me finish as to why. Those two types of lawyers are the most honest lawyers you will find. A lawyer in and of himself is a liar. I mean, their whole goal is to lie so professionally that they get you out of whatever you're doing, or they get you sent to jail. Now, the whole point of a prosecutor is to debunk said lies. That's why they collect a lot of evidence. That's why they do a lot of everything that they do. Now, as a defense attorney, Hillary Clinton wasn't the best. I don't really know her official record, and I really don't care. But it was a really low number of wins to a really high number of losses. Or actually, I think it was the other way around. I'm confused. But anyway, I can tell you firsthand that when you get somebody out of the chair and they're guilty and they should have gone to the chair, it's only a matter of time before they do it again. And that's when their first trial becomes multiplied with the second trial. Because the first trial will be declared a miscue, and they'll be automatically guilty from that one, if that makes any sense. Now, damn, I'm getting tired.
Yeah, so, do you want to continue this in a part 3, Dad?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do my outro, and I'm going to not hang up, but I'm going to end up going ahead and muting Skype and then doing my outro, and then I will get back to you in the call.
Alright, I'm actually getting ready to go to bed.
Okay.
I haven't slept in 36 hours, so.
Alright, well then just go to bed, Dad, and I'll text you later on, or you can text me when you wake up.
Alright, we'll do.
Alright, love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so yes, that was my dad I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. If you did, slap the like button in the face. You can either slap it, like bitch slap it, dick slap it, do whatever you want, so long as you either hit that like button or pimp slap that fucking dislike button. Either way.
That like button.
Anyways, I will see all you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I will see all you guys in the next video. Thank you so much, and have the safest of travels. Bye bye.